Hello there. Welcome to the 89th episode of Split Focus, a film and TV podcast. My name is Simon Eady, and alongside me, I have my co-host and L. Brent Bozel IV, Adrian Finter. How does it go, sir?
Simon Dennis Eady. I'm doing well. Hello there, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I forgot what I regularly do at the beginning, and I am Mr. Bozel, and maybe that's why I forgot what I regularly do, Simon. Mr. Bozel is the Parents TV Council Superman or whatever. You know what I'm saying, Simon? You know where I'm going with this?
Superman? You mean the founder?
The founder, Mr. Bozel.
Hold on. Do you call founders Supermen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why would Superman even come in your mind at all?
I don't know, man. I have no idea, actually.
And you also screwed up the intro. I'm pretty sure you didn't say General Kenobi. Am I wrong?
General Kenobi. It goes quite well, my friend. How art thou?
Oh, my God.
See, it doesn't work now. Now we're like a minute in.
This intro is a mess.
Yeah, I know. And Ellie's here. She just decided. She's like, hey, I'm going to start playing with my little pig, my squeaky pig right now.
Classic. All we need right now, just at this very moment, is your clock to go off. Oh, actually, it should have went off 15 minutes ago. Yeah. We're recording this right at 10 o'clock p.m. And your clock, for some reason, is 15 minutes behind.
It's 8
for the
minutes.
Chime. Whatever. It's ridiculous, regardless.
It's whatever.
So I'm sure we'll hear at some point. At some point in 45 minutes.
But yeah. Anyways, Simon, in reference to Mr. Bozel, did you hear about what the Parents TV Council said about those Netflix shows going on Disney Plus, Simon Eady?
I did. It's kind of ridiculous. So just to give some background before you get into what he said or what they said, I guess. I don't think Bozel said it, but anyway.
Bozel didn't say it, no.
No, the founder didn't say it. But regardless, the point is that we talked about last week, and we've been speculating for a couple months about how Disney might be taking the shows, the Daredevil, Jessica Jones, the Defender series from Netflix, and placing them on their own streaming service, Disney Plus, because that's supposed to happen on March 16th now, which was announced last week. And it's going on Disney Plus proper. It's not going on Hulu, which is usually reserved for the more mature fare that Disney offers, because Hulu is very much owned by Disney. And so in this case, they're actually putting Daredevil, etc. on Disney Plus proper. And they're just basically putting parental controls so that you can control what each profile, like, so if I have my son on there, my 5-year-old son, whom I don't have.
Yeah, you have a kid?
No, I don't. I don't. This is a hypothetical situation.
Understood. Okay.
But if I had a 3-year-old child,
wait, 5-year-old or 3-year-old? You're switching it up now.
Let's split the difference. Take an average. He's 4.
4-year-old child. Okay.
And so,
is it a boy or a girl?
4-year-old. I said it's a son. So, are you even listening at all to anything I'm saying? What's going on here? Can a son be a girl?
Yeah.
I guess, actually, you know what? Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. What am I talking about?
You got to be more progressive, dude.
Yeah, it's true. You're right. Are we ever going to say what we're going to say? I don't even know. But regardless, the point is, on March 16th, those shows are coming to Disney Plus proper. And there are parental controls on each profile. And it prompts you right, like from, I think, I guess it's going to prompt you right from March 16th to put various parental controls on each profile. Are you wanting each profile to be MA, like mature content, or not? Do you want only under 18 content available on those profiles or not? You get the choice as a parent or somebody who actually controls the accounts. Like for you, Adrian, I'm making sure that your profile only does under 18, because that's the only way.
You're a good friend.
We can do that because you steal my profile, so I have to punish you somehow. No, I'm not going to do that. That would be
punish me.
That'd be rude. What's that?
I just said, punish me in a seductive way.
Oh, okay. Cool. I don't know why. It's kind of weird. But Adrian, what did the parents, I thought that was a parental. Isn't that the parental television?
I don't know. The Parents TV Council.
I'm just reading the notes.
The PTV.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's the Parents Television Console. Console.
The newest console coming straight to you. It's going to go head to head with the PlayStation 5. It's the parents' TV console.
Okay, that's not what it is. But regardless, what did they say about this move by Disney?
Simon, I'm taking this quote from Variety, the hit website Variety, where they post a variety of news articles, and I'll start. You ready?
Yeah, I'm completely ready.
Okay, awesome. For more than 98 years, the Walt Disney Company has been synonymous with the words family friendly, and I can think of no other corporation in American history that has been built more squarely on the backs and on the wallets of parents and families. Tim Winter, president of the Parents Television and Media Council, said in a statement. He continued, The company's eponymous, it's a new word, eponymous? What does that mean? Let's find out.
Massive is my guess.
Eponymous.
Oh,
Giving their name to something.
because it's Disney. I think it's because it's Disney Plus as opposed to it being called something else.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I never used that word eponymous, but I should.
It's a new one.
It's a good word. It's a big
It's a
word.
quality word, man.
Wow.
Anyways, Tim Winter continued, the company's eponymous platform, Disney Plus, logically marketed itself as a family-friendly streaming service, and parents have placed their trust in Disney to deliver just that. It seems wildly off-brand for Disney Plus to add TV-MA and R-rated programming to this platform, ostensibly to increase subscription revenue. So what comes next? Adding live striptease performances in Fantasyland at Disney World? Question mark.
Oh boy.
There is no need for Disney Plus to compete with the explicit content on other streaming platforms. Disney is already at a competitive advantage with the streaming platform that is the safest one out there for families. Its foray into TVMA rated affair will forever tarnish its family-friendly crown.
Wow.
And that's from, once again, Tim Winter, the president of the Parents TV Council.
Oh, sorry, not L. Brent Basel III. My mistake.
No. Yeah, L. Brent Basel III. He's just the founder. He's a Superman of it. But
Yeah, he's a Superman of the organization.
But Tim Winter is just a little bitch boy, is what I'm going to say. Nah, he might be a nice guy. But I don't know. I just find the statement about, like, what comes next? Adding live striptease performances in Fantasyland at Disney World? It's like, what? What a dumb fucking statement. That's so stupid.
I talked about this last week briefly, and we don't talk about politics that much on our show, but I specifically mentioned that people don't understand that anything but black and white a lot of the time. And that's one of the reasons why there's so much division, I feel like, across the like political spectrums, is because people can't understand gray. They just understand black and white. It's either good or it's bad. And this is like comparing striptease performances at Fantasyland to having completely, by the way, age-locked content that if you are an actual parent who is parenting, you should be able to control what your child sees on both Disney Plus, but also the internet. I mean, the internet's a vast place, Adrian. I feel like there's other things that are worse than Daredevil.
I think so as well.
You know?
You can find like beheading videos online if you want to.
Yeah, well, those are harder to find than maybe porn would be a good one. A good example.
Porn, good call. That exists. When I was a kid, I literally like saw like a beheading video when I was a kid.
Oh,
I remember just like looking online. It was like Russian beheading. It was really messed up.
Yeah, that sounds messed up.
Yeah,
that explains a lot.
It's funny. I feel like so many people like looked up those videos when they were kids. Did you ever look up any of those like crazy ass videos?
I did not.
Yeah, or like Two Girls, One Cup. Remember Two Girls, One Cup?
I
feel like
never
we
watched
talked
that,
about this
actually.
Or there's the one man in the jar where he sticks a glass jar up his ass and it breaks.
I've never seen that either. No.
Yeah. It's wild. Yeah. The Wild West online. Let me tell you, Simon. But yeah.
Yeah, okay. What age did you see this stuff?
I don't remember. I was young, like elementary school.
Yes. Explains so much.
Yeah, probably.
You're not even riffing off that. You're just accepting it. It doesn't fuel the joke. I'm just joking, Adrian. It's okay. Jesus.
Well, I mean, you hurted my feelings, and I just took it. You know,
I don't mean it. You're fine. You're normal. You're a normal guy.
I'm not normal.
Well, no one's normal. What's normal? Normal's
That's a good question.
It's all relative. It's silly.
Yeah.
But regardless, that's not what we're talking about here. So you think this is silly? I think it's really silly, this whole situation with the Parents TV Council, because again, you can lock each profile on Disney Plus with a pin. So even if like you're like worried your kid's gonna get wily and like go onto a Disney Plus account and then use their parents' account to watch like heaven forbid they watched Iron Fist, terrible if they did that. Versus going on the internet and watching anything else.
Double anal fisting or something like that.
Exactly. Right. Thank you for all the specific videos. Just keep it coming.
Nice.
But if they did go online and watch any particular video, I mean, it would be worse. But obviously, routers have parental controls. Even Disney actually created, I don't know if you remember this, but Disney created like this device that you can connect to your router.
Yeah. Yeah, Disney Circle.
Yeah, at Disney Circle. I can remember the name of it. Good, well done. But yeah, it's Disney Circle, all the traffic routes through so that it can stop your child from potentially going on to illicit sites. It's like a sensor, which I appreciate. I think that's cool. It is weird that it was Disney that did that, though. And then there's this, I guess. I guess there's a weird dichotomy there. But then again, they did put parental controls literally on Disney Plus to avoid the problem that this might cause. My question for you, Adrian, after all of this situation is going to happen after March 16th, do you think that it's just going to eventually phase out Hulu? Because I really think that Hulu is just going to get phased out. I think that's the best plan and strategy going forward. Because in Canada, we don't have Hulu. We just have Star content. Like Pam and Tommy is just on. That's what's so weird, too, is that in Canada, we've had this situation already like for a year. So this is so alarming for us because we're like, we have already had this for a year. Like, relax. I don't recall any Parents TV Council of Canada complaining about this. Even though Pam and Tommy's literally on just Disney Plus proper on like the subset called Star. Yeah. So what do you think? Is Hulu just going to become Disney Plus or vice versa? Hulu will be just like a subcategory like Star Wars is on Disney Plus.
Yeah. What do you mean Star Wars?
So if you look at like, I think it's Star Wars if I'm not mistaken, but if you look at like the subcategories of Disney Plus, when you go in, you got Star Wars, Marvel, Pixar.
Oh yeah, like National Geographic.
Yeah,
you're right.
Star for us. So Hulu would be one of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that would make sense. I don't really see why they haven't done that. The only reason I can think that it might not work out is because I don't think Hulu is 100% owned by Disney. I think, I think there are other, players in on it. I know like NBC used to be a part of it. I don't know if they still are.
I think Disney's the majority shareholder, though. I think that's why.
Yeah,
but even so, we're getting a lot of Hulu content like Pam and Tommy on Disney Plus in Canada. So I imagine that they have full control. They have the controlling power of Hulu.
Yeah. So
because I think they're the ones creating the content too. Like they're the producers. I'm pretty sure the primary.
Yeah. So Walt Disney is Hulu is majority owned by the Walt Disney Company and NBC Universal holding a minority stake, in it right now. So and like right now, I mean, like. Again, this is off Wikipedia, so take this with a grain of salt. But according to Wikipedia, there's 45.3 million Hulu users in the States as of January 1st, 2022.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know if it would make sense to do that, to, like, consolidate them, because I'm sure there are people that are double dipping. I'm sure there are people paying for Hulu as well as paying for Disney, and then you're just kind of leaving that money on the table. I don't know. But I think it would make sense for them to put it together. I don't really. Again, there's just too many goddamn services. There's too many apps. It's annoying. I think consolidation of these applications, at least in these streaming services, is a good thing. And yeah, I would like to see it. And I don't know. I'm kind of stoked that here in Canada we don't have to deal with that. Like again, like the vast majority of Hulu releases end up going on Star anyways. There are a couple that kind of, I guess, slip through the cracks or like go to a different distributor. So I can think of, what was it? Palm Springs. Like that went to Amazon Prime Video here in Canada as an example. And that was Hulu.
We didn't have Star at the time though.
Oh yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. Good call actually. So I think pretty much since, like Star's launched, we've gotten all the Hulu stuff on there. And even like How I Met Your Father, I don't think it was airing there initially. I could be wrong, but now I'm like seeing ads for it and being like, hey, it's on Disney Plus. So it's interesting. I don't know. I feel like they definitely should consolidate the two.
Yeah, it would be cool. We'll see what happens. You're right though, the leaving money on the table kind of thing. Because if you are already, well, I guess it also depends on how many of those millions are also subscribing to Disney like simultaneously. So they'd have to kind of take a look at that. But I think you can get like there's a bundle. I think because they also own ESPN, so I think there's a bundle.
Yeah, in the States where you can just get them all.
I'm pretty sure there is. But it's cool. But yeah, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just use the parental controls. You're the parent. I don't know what else to say. Like, I get it. The eponymous thing is actually quite an interesting concept, in that the fact that the company's name is on it. I did question that quite a bit, and we talked about that when Pam and Tommy was being advertised on Facebook. It was just being advertised as on Disney Plus. Catch it now. It's like it's a weird thing to have Disney on that name without Star really with too much visibility. Like it was not very clear.
Yeah, but I think it's in like small font in the bottom right corner, some shit like that.
I feel like this was inevitable, though. They own everything. They own so much. Like they're Disney. Ultimately, it's the parent company of all of this stuff is Disney in the end. And like when they buy all of the almost the entire market, I feel like they own like 35% or something, 40% of what all of the producers of content in Hollywood at this point. They own a lot. I don't. Maybe it's not that high, but they own a lot. And so if they own that much, and they're probably going to keep growing and potentially keep with their mergers and acquisitions and keep buying other brands, that I don't know. What are you going to do at that point? They're not going to just. I don't know. It's better consolidated on a marketing perspective, I would argue, but they just have to. I don't know. They have to work on the parental controls or maybe better explanations of it to make it clearer for parents, I guess, so that organizations like these don't, throw a fit.
Yeah.
You don't want those strip teases at the Fantasyland in Disney World. You know what I'm saying?
I do, but yeah, I can see why some people wouldn't.
I see, Adrian. All right. Well, Adrian, I made a mistake this week.
You?
Yeah, I know. It's the second week in a row. I'm on a roll.
Well, if you made one, then technically I made one, because my mistakes are your mistakes and your mistakes are my mistakes. But yeah, what did you do?
I specifically said that Cineplex won their lawsuit against Cineworld. Cineworld was buying Cineplex. The deal fell through in the pandemic because they got cold feet ultimately, and the court ruled that way. And so Cineworld basically is appealing, but they lost the lawsuit. But Cineplex was basically suing Cineworld because of the deal fell through for the merger. And they were suing them for $2 billion, but they actually won only $1.24 billion. So they were suing them for $2 billion, but they didn't win that much. The actual acquisition, Cineworld buying Cineplex, that was actually $2.4 billion or something like that. So it wouldn't have made sense anyway. But even still, it's still ridiculous that
it's still over half.
I know. It's still insane considering the Cineplex still owns their company and they didn't get merged or acquired by. I think it was an acquisition. I'm not quite sure the difference. But anyway, between the merger and acquisition bit. But yeah, I think that would be considered an acquisition because Cineworld is so much larger than Cineplex. Anyways, UK Cineworld lost the lawsuit. And they have to pay, unless they win the appeal, $1.24 billion, not $2 billion. So, my mistake, Adrian. My mistake. I apologize.
Our mistake, yeah.
But moving on from that, Adrian, what have you been watching this week, my friend? What have you been watching this week?
Ooh, Simon. So last week I said specifically, I'm going to watch Turning Red this week.
Yeah, I think you said it twice.
And I didn't. And honestly, I apologize for not watching it.
Yeah, you failed me.
Honestly, the main reason I didn't want to watch it is I don't know if you saw the Cinema Blend review from like Sean O'Connell.
Yeah,
where he's just saying like how that movie is limiting, as like a white dude, you just can't relate to it. So I like read that review and I was like, honestly, I'm not going to watch this movie. Screw this movie. I'm just kidding. What a dumb thing. What a dumb review. Anyways, but no, I actually didn't watch it. I apologize. I didn't have the time. The time fell through.
I see.
I didn't manage my time properly, Simon, and I failed not only you,
You're saying that you're not worried about the relatability of the content of being about an Asian girl living in Toronto?
No,
That's
I'm
not
not.
what deterred you from watching Turning Red on Disney Plus?
It did not what deterred me. Yeah.
It did not what deterred you. Okay.
It did not what deterred me.
Good.
And honestly, I feel like I relate to a little Asian girl often, actually.
Okay.
But yeah, I just didn't get around to it, unfortunately. And I apologize.
Look, man, I rushed home today. I'm not joking you. I did actually rush home. My girlfriend prepared a meal, planning to watch the movie right as soon as I got home. She made dinner beforehand.
What'd she make?
We normally make dinner together. She made a spinach dip, which was very good.
Oh, I love spinach dip.
And we watched Turning Red. We kind of rushed it, and I kind of feel bad because
You watched it on 1.5 times speed?
No, I wouldn't have done that. Yeah. But I just feel like, well, I got the most of it. I feel like it ended just in time. Except I did promise that I would have started this podcast, the recording, 10 minutes earlier, and I failed you. But I didn't really fail you because you failed me. So I guess it all evens itself out.
It's a double negative, so it's a positive.
Yeah. I tried my best to get it done earlier. I almost left early to try and watch it. It's a good thing I didn't do that because you just didn't watch it, and we were supposed to review it together.
I failed you, and I apologize, man. I apologize to you, to every listener, to my family.
Oh, wow. Okay.
To Ellie.
Damn.
To anyone I ever heard in my life, honestly.
Whoa.
But
for this?
Yeah. But Simon.
What? Yeah.
What do you think of this movie? You tell me. Convince me to watch this movie. I'm going to watch it regardless.
Okay.
100%. But convince me to watch this movie. Because I'll get to it.
Yeah.
But you convince me to watch something.
Yeah, for sure. It's pretty amazing. I really love it. I really like it. I mean, what is there not to like? It's a Pixar film, right? I mean, we always like the Pixar films. I don't think there's a Pixar film I've ever seen. I've never watched Cars that I didn't like. I feel like I should see Cars because I feel like that would maybe I'd question my love for Pixar a little bit more. But I don't know. People don't dislike Cars.
Hopefully, Sean O'Connell can relate to Cars because
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's what a ridiculous review that is. It's so unbelievable. I didn't actually listen to. I didn't read the review. I read there was like a review of the review. Like Variety wrote an article about it, and had quotes from it. And it was the thing about the not relating. It's so dumb. Although we live in Canada and we live like outside of Toronto, so I guess maybe we relate on that perspective. But even then, like Toronto is not that different from like a big city in the States, really, except there's less guns.
There's still guns though, which is pretty cool.
I don't know about cool, but yeah, there's still guns. Yeah. But it's the cool thing about this, just to go into that Toronto thing. It is very heavily like related to Toronto, and it makes sense because I mean it takes place in Toronto, and Toronto. It's not a city. Sorry, it's definitely a city. It's not a character in the same way that Gotham is in the Batman, like we talked about last week. But it is a character in a lot of ways. Like they have the Sky Dome in it, and the CN Tower is like on display, and like.
Oh, that's cool.
Like Chinatown is very clearly there, and like they've got like a lot of these very awesome Canadian references, which I really appreciate. But like May, the main character, is very charming. The voice acting is very good. The not relating thing seems dumb. I don't understand. I feel like, it's so strange. There's such again, I don't want to talk too much about that review because it's just so stupid. But anyway, it's a coming of age story, which I know you'll love, Adrian. That's why I'm disappointed that I also don't get to talk to you about it, because I feel like every time there's a coming of age story, whether it be 8th grade or what's another one you like? Even actually, the movie we just watched. I know you really like Licorice Pizza. Out of like Nightmare Alley and Licorice Pizza, which we saw on the same day, you definitely liked Licorice Pizza better, if I recall.
At the time.
So maybe not anymore.
Yeah, I think I changed my opinion on it after.
The weirdness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still a good movie.
But I know that you like that kind of movie, and so it does that justice, and the animation is so beautiful. Again, every time I see a Pixar movie, I get a little bit more blown away by the animation. It's so strange. I don't understand how they do it. Like the use of water, the way they animate water at Pixar Studios, I can't believe it. I'm kind of shocked. It's kind of amazing. It's just It's really good. It's really charming. It's very funny. I teared up, although I don't know if this is a tearjerker as other Pixar movies have been. Like, certainly not an Inside Out type situation. I mean, prove me wrong, Adrian, but I don't think so. I just have been tearing up lately more often, I feel like, in a lot of these movies. There are some emotional beats for sure. The music's amazing. It's Ludwig Göransson does some of the music, and then there's songs written by Phineas O'Connell and Billie Eilish, which is really cool. Well, it's like there was some executive at Disney who was a big fan of Billie Eilish, and he thought it would be a good idea to get her involved. And there was this concept of, like, it takes place in 2002 in Toronto, and the main character May is got her girlfriends she's just leaving elementary school. She's getting into high school, basically. It's very much, again, coming of age story. It's literally in 8th grade, I guess, as a reference to the Bo Burnham movie. But she has like 3 friends who she's like so close with, and it's really a movie largely about friendship in some ways too, and the pressures of family as well, like the pressures of her more traditional kind of family as well, and but her girlfriends and her love this band that's very much like NSYNC or good old the Backstreet Boys, and they're called Four Town.
Nice. And
there's like music featured from this fictional band, and they feature these characters like you would, like, and how they're in love with them kind of thing, and how they love them so much, and they believe that, like, kind of going to a concert of theirs would make their life, which is kind of ridiculous, but it's very funny again. And then there's some kind of traditional, like, Chinese lore in there as well. Her family's kind of got like this interesting family history that, like, kind of influences the rest of the film, and it's kind of again a very neat thing in that they mix stuff of legends potentially with modern day, or actually it's not modern day because it's 2002, but there's also the 2002 elements that you'll see throughout too, like peppered in there, like music from the 2002 era, which would be like Backstreet Boys as an example, and various other little things into like 2002 Toronto, which again we can relate to because we're Canadian.
It's true.
So we have that advantage.
I'm also a little Asian girl, so I can definitely relate to it.
Exactly. Precisely. Yeah. So was this movie amazing? Yes. It had amazing music. It had amazing animation, really good voice acting, really like surprising plot elements that kind of like threw me for a loop a little bit. Like I was like, I didn't think it was going to go that direction. The fur on this panda, man, is just lifelike. Again, it's just, it's wild. Am I a fan? Heck yes. This is a great movie on Pixar. Nice. And if you have a Disney Plus subscription, you should watch it. The one thing that irks me a lot, actually, just because of how good this movie is and how good Pixar movies have traditionally always been, is why the heck is this not going to theaters? After so much has opened up over the last few months, especially in Canada, which this movie takes place in, but also in the States too. So I'm like a little lost. I'm not sure why they made that decision in the first place, especially when the Batman, it's like coming off of the Batman's great, opening weekend. And I don't know. And it bothers me because this movie's gold. And don't know. It's annoying.
Yeah, that is a little annoying. I just love the movie going experience. So it's kind of annoying that it isn't out in the theaters, but I mean, you sold me on it, Simon. You sold me on it. I'm going to watch it this week. I was going to watch it again anyways, but I'm going to watch it for sure now because you told me to watch it and that it's good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're going to watch it anyway.
But speaking of things that you told me to watch, Simon, that you're like, I'm certain you're going to like this show. I would cut off my entire leg if you don't like this show, Adrian, is what you said to me.
No, I didn't.
And then I was like, Simon, I hope I don't like this show so you can cut off your leg. But alas, Simon, this show that you recommended to me is called The After Party, which is an Apple TV Plus original series. Starring Tiffany Haddish. She's honestly the star, but there's an amazing cast. Ben Schwartz is in there, all that stuff. And good news, you don't have to cut off your leg, Simon, because I goddamn love this show.
Okay, how far did you get?
I finished it. I binge watched the 8 episodes that are released, and it is awesome.
Amazing. When did you finish the last episode?
Thursday, I think.
Oh, okay.
Thursday or Wednesday.
Okay. Just make sure it wasn't yesterday. That's all.
Oh my God. But yeah.
You know why?
Yeah, because Turning Red came out yesterday and I didn't have the time. God damn it.
We just do a better job reviewing things together. I think we play off of each other. I'm trying to even give you less details because sometimes you don't like watching trailers because you don't want to spoil tiny elements. Look, man, I'm respecting you during my review, and we should be together on this. And it's just unprofessional. That's all I'm saying. So.
Yeah, I agree. I'm totally unprofessional.
Well, that's without being said, but
yeah, I won't say it again because everyone knows it. But anyways, I respect you too. Anyways, but yeah, the after party for just to do quick Cole's notes on it. It's a show about this cast of characters that they go to a high school reunion about 15 years after they graduated. And, after the high school reunion, they go to an after party where one of them gets murdered. And Tiffany Haddish is a detective that shows up, and she is on the hunt. She's going to solve who murdered this person. And it's really cool what they do because she interviews all these individuals in the after party, and every way they tell the story, it's like a different sort of movie style. So the first one's kind of like a rom-com, then there's like an action movie, there's a musical one, all this like dumb stuff, and it's brilliantly done. And you mentioned how like they drop little hints, and you can honestly figure out who the murderer is prior to the final episode, which actually I guessed, funnily enough. And like when the reveal happened, I was like, oh, damn. And then it shows like all the little things that was sprinkled throughout the show. And it's very well done.
Did you actually guess it? Or was like hindsight 2020? You're like, I thought it might be him. But then at the end, you're like, I did guess it. Because at one point, one of the characters literally says, I knew it like 10 times for 10 different situations. So I'm wondering if you did that too. Because I sort of guessed it too. But I didn't really guess it, if I'm being honest, because there's always multiple options. I didn't say out loud, this is the person for sure. I wasn't 100% sure at any point. I was always kind of in the wind, like thinking, ooh, who could it be?
Yeah.
Could be this person, but it could be this person. But who is it this time? And we talked about this, like my girlfriend and I consistently, like, who do you think it is? Who do you think it is? Like from week to week. Because we're curious, but we didn't, I don't think we can say we guessed it, but we could, we had some reasons to believe that it was the individual who was the person, but there was also reasons to believe that it was the other people.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
So are you just cheating the system here? And you're like, I guessed it. I knew 100% right from the beginning.
I knew 100%. I wrote it on a piece of paper and I mailed it to myself with a date stamped on it.
Should have mailed it to me.
Mm-hmm. Next time I will. For season 2 of the after party, I'll do that. But again, it's a really great show. It's absolutely hilarious. Again, I agree with what you said about Tiffany Haddish's character, how she just grows on you more and more as the episodes progress. And honestly, she's just 10 out of 10. Like, I think probably my favorite character in the show, along with a character named Walt, who is the most awkward individual of all time. And honestly, multiple times I just burst out laughing just with his like weird mannerisms and stuff like that. It's the most uncomfortable thing to watch in all the right ways. And all in all, again, it's a brilliant show. Again, super high production values, amazing cast. Dave Franco's also in it. It's really great. And you were 100% right. This is definitely my kind of show. It's a comedy. It's a murder mystery. It's a whodunit. It's really fun. Very well written, very well acted. The jokes sprinkled throughout are 10 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. And I appreciate you recommending this show to me, man. I do not regret watching it.
There was a certain episode that I thought, I think right after this episode aired, I'm like, oh, Adrian's just going to love this show. And that was kind of the point. And it was the Ben Schwartz centered episode. I think it was episode 3. And I was like, man, there's no way Adrian doesn't love this.
Yeah, it's
so that was the one that I was like, because there's again they're in a different style for each of these characters. They are again telling their story in the way that they tell them, and they're pretty eccentric people, honestly. And it changes the game. And it's funny because you could be seeing the same events happening over and over again with slight variations, but you get these different styles that change the game so much that it never becomes boring, which I think is brilliant. I'm kind of hoping the next season, which I don't understand how there's an after party for season 2, but anyway, the season 2 after party, I'm wondering if they're going to do the same kind of similar idea. But Detective Danner isn't great necessarily at some detecting, but she's a great people person. I think that's her trait that works very well. So I'd imagine that she probably will approach the next season with a similar approach. But this is, again, an Apple TV Plus original, and they just killed it with the quality. This is amazing. This is one of their best offerings so far.
Definitely.
So obviously we love Ted Lasso, but
Mythic Quest as well. I adore.
Oh yeah, Mythic Quest is so good. And Severance, I'm making my way through it. It's 10 episodes though, and I made a mistake starting it. Honestly, I just hate week to week. I can't do it. I don't know what it is about week to week. It's just, it's a weird thing. It's like almost like again, this is going inside baseball for video games, but I don't like the episodic games.
Yeah, like Telltale like games back in the day, or even Life is Strange. Well, the first
reason
Life is
why
Strange was Life is Strange too.
Yeah, the reason why though I don't like that kind of style, I rather they just release all the episodes at once for that, is because of the fact that I start getting tied up with other things. So I'll get into like an open world game or whatever, and I'll be so enthralled in it that if the next episode comes out, I'm just not interested. Or I'm interested, but I've forgotten what happened, and I just don't really care because there's like 50 shows. Like the launching all at once or like with smaller gaps is better because of that too. And I think that's something I feel like I didn't give credit for. I know I've said this so much, I feel like a broken record, but that's another reason that I never said. Do you feel that a little bit? You know what I'm saying? Like you got to watch After Party all at once, and I feel like you had a bit of an advantage. Honestly, I really don't. We stopped watching After Party at a certain point, and we just started watching other shows that had finished because we're like, this is dumb. Like we're really into it, but then it's like stops. It's like we're really into it, stops. Like I don't want that. I just want to see the show. I want to watch it. Again, we're in a new age. Like they need to learn. I don't know if they ever will though. So because they all want to keep their subscriber base talking about their shows each week. Or back to like 1965 for TV show.
My favorite year.
Yeah.
That was the year my father was born. Fun fact.
Was it actually?
Yeah.
I just nailed the date on the dot.
Yeah, man.
Well, I guess I could have said 1967. You're like, oh, that was the year that, I don't know, something else happened. That was the year that my dad bought a canoe.
Yeah, at the age of 2.
That's a 2-year-old child.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, cool. I'm glad you liked it. And I feel like I know how to pick them for you. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, you're a good friend.
That's 2 for 2 I got for you. I feel like it's more than 2 for 2, but the last 2 I suggested to you was Avenue 5 and The After Party. I also suggested White Lotus, which I think you'll enjoy too.
Yeah, maybe I'll watch that next.
I think The After Party is a very different kind of show, but White Lotus is also very good.
Nice.
But yeah, I don't recommend White Lotus as much as I recommended The After Party, for sure. And even potentially Avenue 5. Although Avenue 5 is definitely not as highly rated as White Lotus.
Yeah, that confused me. That show's fucking awesome. I really love that show.
Yeah, very strange. Yeah. But Adrian, did you watch anything else this week?
Simon, I did actually indeed watch something else. I'm gonna keep this one a little brief before we jump into the thing that we both watch. But there's this new Netflix interactive sort of like short film thing called Cat Burglar.
Oh.
So what Cat Burglar is, it's in like this like almost older style animation, like this like nice like 2D animation. Kind of gives you like Tom and Jerry vibes where there's this cat trying to break into a museum and steal shit. And there's like this little dog.
It's an actual cat.
Yeah, like an actual real life cat that's animated. That's not real life. And this cat is a burglar and is trying to break into like a museum of sorts and steal some stuff. And there's this little dog, and the dog is like the security guard, and it's trying to stop the cat from going into the museum. And what this I guess interactive short film, how it plays out is like it plays again the short film and the cat's just doing shit. And at these key moments, there are little like trivia questions that pop up. And then you have to like, select the right answer to the trivia question real quick. And if you select, 3 of them in a row correctly, the cat will continue forward and get to the next stage. And if you guess it wrong, like the cat will, I don't know, like shoot itself in the foot or something stupid. Or the
if
dog
you get
will like
one of the 3 wrong,
just one of the 3 wrong.
If you get all 3 wrong, is it worse or?
I don't know, because I was so good that I only got one of the 3 wrong ever.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm having trouble understanding. So you get one wrong, and then he takes out his gun and shoots himself in the foot. Or you're saying that he messes something up?
He messes something up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he doesn't like literally shoot himself.
He's not like intentionally maiming himself. He's like, "How dare you do this?" And he like takes a gun and he starts pointing at his head, and he's like, "You did this to me." That's what I'm picturing, but I don't think that's what you're saying.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
But essentially, it just kind of like plays out, and you're answering these trivia questions, right? And then he ends up like stealing whatever. But the cool part about this is that there's a lot of replayability, because they've like specifically animated so many different scenarios to happen, and it's not like you can choose which scenario plays out, which is a little bit annoying. So you might get some overlap if you replay it like 3 or 4 times, but there's enough variety to kind of keep your interest. And it's kind of neat that they put in this much effort into like this really awesome, like older style, like 2D animation. And it's a unique little experiment, I would say, that Netflix is doing. I mean, Netflix is just naturally going into the video game market. If you have Netflix on your phone, you literally have phone games available to you, funnily enough, just included in the subscription. Not a huge selection, but there is still something. And I don't know, like this is kind of adding to that. And again, you can just play it with your TV remote and stuff like that. It's safe for children, which is, I guess, cool. So you could play it with like your kid or something, like your 4-year-old son, Simon.
Yes.
And kind of go from there. And it's something I would suggest, like just giving a try. It's not the most amazing thing I've ever seen, or obviously played, but I think it's just a unique sort of foray that Netflix is doing into like this interactive experience. I didn't play the other interactive stuff that they released, like Bandersnatch. I never got around to, or like the Man vs. Wild, like sort of interactive options, stuff like that. But I thought this was a really neat one. And again, the animation style is brilliant. It's really, it is very reminiscent of that older style, like 2D Tom and Jerry animation.
I see.
Yeah. And I really liked it.
Cool.
But yeah, the final thing I watched, Simon, is that new Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer, which I imagine you watched as well.
Yes, I did.
And
did indeed.
This looks hype. This looks awesome. The music in this is phenomenal.
John Williams, man.
God, they knew exactly what they were doing in this trailer, man. And yeah, like I was listening to it, I was like, God damn, like they're having so many amazing. When Duel of Fates came on as well, I was like, oh, like that is arguably like one of the most Star Wars, like it might be my favorite like song or score piece in all of Star Wars. And again, it's what I remember arguably most of, that like final fight in Phantom Menace between like Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon Jinn and Darth Maul. And it's just like, God damn, this trailer really just pulled on that, like my heartstrings. And I love Ewan McGregor as an actor. And I think the best part about the Star Wars prequel trilogy is definitely him and, Obi-Wan as a character portrayed by him. And it's so awesome that we're getting this show. Like we are getting an Obi-Wan show with Ewan McGregor set, in between that 30-year span where we don't see him from after Revenge of the Sith to A New Hope. And again, I think they're definitely leaning into, like the Clone Wars and Rebels and stuff with some characters, because there are some characters in there where I was like, I don't really recognize this or these people, and then I kind of looked into it, and they have shown up in those animated shows and stuff. But yeah, again, this looks sick, dude. What did you think?
It looks good. I'm just not. I don't want to get too hyped up, because I just feel like when you get into the weeds of a non-Jon Favreau or Dave Filoni kind of property, I'm a little worried about it, because we just haven't had a good track record so far. And the screenwriter for this has a really poor track record, as I sent you. by text message, not through you, but through, of course, our audiovisual video technician, Jimmy, who sent it to you afterwards. But it was like basically the Rotten Tomatoes score for Joby Harold, who screenwrites this. And I'm just worried for that. He just doesn't have a great track record. Like, if you look through his movies that he's made, or even the TV series, they just not very. Actually, no, he's not written any TV series. I don't think. Anyway, that worries me. But Deborah Chow did a great job with the direction of the episodes she did for The Mandalorian, and she's the director for this. So Deborah Chow gives me hope. Gives me a new hope.
Nice.
But I don't know. That's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried. I would say that I'm going in with even expectations, as I try to do anyway. But I just want to temper how great the trailer is, because genuinely the trailer looks great. Like,
it's so good.
Showing the kind of the Inquisitors and all that stuff is really neat. That's what they're called, right? Am I getting that right?
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
Inquisitors. Yeah, who are Jedi hunters. They're just going to rack shit up and kill Jedi. And so my thing that I'm really excited for, obviously Ewan McGregor, which just is awesome. The music, yeah, sure. And the Inquisitors is cool. But this reminds me very much of something that we know. Again, I'm sorry to bring up video games again for Kenneth Saddlebauer, who constantly writes into us and doesn't like us talking about video games, because this is a film and TV podcast, Adrian. But
not IGN.
Yeah, this isn't entertainment website IGN. But specifically, the idea of Jedi Fallen Order. And that's kind of what that game is about, largely. And it kind of it surprised me there. And I'll also say that Jedi Fallen Order, there's a BB droid. What was it called? BB? Do you remember? Not BB. BD, not BB.
Yeah,
BB
BD1.
is,
BD1.
BD1. BD1 is a droid in that game. And for the first time ever, we see that droid in Book of Boba Fett. And I was shocked when I saw that, because I think that droid is really cool. It's really small and really kind of cute. And I thought, actually, funny enough, there was a character with that droid, and I'm like, oh, this character is going to now have this droid as a companion. I was like, oh, that's really cool, because we're going to see this character in, future iterations. Maybe they'll have this BD1 droid, whatever, BD2. I don't know what kind of BD it is, but is it going to have it with this companion as a companion now, as his friend, or, But regardless of that, that was very exciting, because that was the first time we saw that in live action, that specific droid, which was initially originally placed before anything else, it was actually in the game.
Yeah, I think this is the first.
So that really excited me.
First time we're ever going to see it in live action.
Just live action, but even on shows, I'm pretty sure it's the first time we've seen it in any TV series, whether it be Clone Wars or
you might be right.
I'm pretty sure it is. I looked at the Wikipedia.
The hit website, Wikipedia.
Yeah. Wikipedia, and I think that's what it said. But regardless, that was really cool to see that for the first time in live action. And so my question is, because of the links to the idea of how Fallen Order is basically about these Jedi being hunted after Revenge of the Sith, and that's exactly what the game's about. Did I just say that twice? I'm not sure. The game and the show are basically lining up in that regard. My question is the Jedi who's a major piece in that game, Cal Kestis, who is an actor who has been in other things, like as an example, as the Joker in the Gotham series, Cameron Monaghan, is he going to be in this show? Is my first question, and I got one more question as a follow-up. Do you think it's possible?
Oh, I think it's definitely possible. I think it would be smart to do that. Get this sort of cross-pollination. But at the same time, maybe they won't, because then you're kind of locked in, because I don't know exactly when this is taking place, but Jedi Fallen Order takes place directly after Revenge of the Sith. Like it I don't know, within like a year or whatever after that, the Empire takes over, I guess. So if this,
but this might be too in some way.
Is it like directly after? Or is it like 10?
It can't be, only because the trailer shows Luke as a
child. Yeah,
probably a 5-year-old child.
So yeah, it's probably like 5 or 6 years later.
But he's a young boy, so he's pretty young. But that's the idea, right? Cal Kestis is right after, but we don't know where Cal Kestis has been in the time being. But we know that there's a sequel brewing for that. So there's got to be some other story that we didn't see. We don't want to see what we already saw in the game, right? That's not what I want to see anyway. I want to see something in between.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's possible. I think that would be cool. I want that sort of like cross-pollination.
Yeah. I thought the biggest hint was the BD droid. That's what I was like. I was so shocked to see that, because I really like that droid design.
Me too.
And it's droid designs is one of my favorite things about Star Wars. Actually, it's funny. I just like tech in general, so I like the kind of the retro. They're like not the tech seems to be really really ahead of its time in every way, but some of the droids are just seem so like primitive in some ways, like being bipedal or like R2-D2 is not that complex. I mean, he's on wheels. That's interesting. But yeah, the other question I have for you, real quick here, is the other character that I have this weird feeling is going to be in this because of the fact that they're hunting Jedi after Revenge of the Sith is Mace Windu. And we've never seen him. And they keep talking, like there's been hints that he's alive. Like George Lucas left a hint that he's alive. He was interviewed at one point and kind of said he's not dead. And I just don't think, what better show is there than this one to reintroduce him, considering this is right after Revenge of the Sith, and we've never seen something in this kind of timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's your clock. There it is. Oh, did you mute?
Yeah, I muted, but now I'm unmuting. So now you're going to hear it go off. But yeah, I muted specifically.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not that loud. It's fine.
Okay. But yeah, I think that would be awesome. I would love to see Mace Windu come back after he fell out the window. Sorry, Mace Windu.
Yeah, Mace Windu come back after he fell out the window. Yeah. Yeah, he's just like one of my favorite Jedi. He's so cool. Purple lightsaber. Samuel Jackson's amazing. Also, he beat Darth Sidious. Like,
yeah, he would have won if it wasn't for Bananakin.
Yeah. So, yeah, again, incredibly excited for this, but also tentatively cautious because I just can't get too excited because I just Rise of Skywalker, as you mentioned constantly, is not good, and that's what you're worried about. You're saying you're not excited about various things, various Star Wars properties because of Rise of Skywalker. If you're not going to be, if you're worried about anything or you're not too excited about anything, it would be this, because we're now, apart from what we know is great, which is the creators of The Mandalorian, who are not a part of this really. Deborah Chow is, but Deborah Chow just directed a few episodes very well. Mm-hmm. But Joby Harold is the writer. And again, I invite you to look at his history. He could do something good. I don't think nobody's tied into not doing, doing bad work necessarily forever. But I just find that that's a little worrying. I'm a little worried just because this has been a rocky history for this Star Wars Disney universe.
Yeah, I mean, like Johannes Roberts made that shit shark movie or whatever, but then he did make the goddamn masterpiece that is Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon Town. Oh
god, that's such a weird thing to say.
So you know what? I'm not gonna really.
Okay, think about it for a second, and don't even answer me because I know it's a silly answer you're gonna give me, and regardless, it might be just because you're on mic here. But if Johannes Roberts was directing this, just take a mental picture of what Resident Evil Battle for Raccoon Village was like, that movie, and to think about, just transpose that now on Star Wars, budget and all, because honestly, what gives Resident Evil? They should have a lot of money.
Yeah.
What's their issue?
That was he did what he could with that low budget.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, he couldn't do a little click over to another font. Click. Just all you have to do is scroll. Lots of fonts out there.
I love that movie.
Terrible titling. Anyway.
Yeah.
I know you're going to say that's great, but that's not good. If Johannes Roberts was directing this, I would not maybe watch it.
I'd watch it. I'd definitely watch it.
Well, I know you'd watch it. You just wait. What do you want to say? Sorry, go on.
But in all seriousness, I wouldn't. I wouldn't want that to be the case.
Oh.
I think Johannes Roberts, he made a really great Resident Evil movie, which I genuinely love. I think it's fun. It's a good movie. I enjoyed it quite a bit. But yeah, I'm not gonna be like, he's the greatest goddamn director and he'll know exactly what to do with Star Wars. So I'll be honest with you in this moment.
I think the reason why I was so excited for the Batman movie is because we know exactly who's a part of it, and we know that this crazy cast of characters, a crazy cast of characters, sure, but of actors was a part of it. Some really great big name big name actors, and then we got Matt Reeves, you love the Planet of the Apes movies, but he's just got a great track record. If you look at his track record, it's awesome. He wrote the script as well. You also got Michael Giacchino doing the music as well, and you got Greg Fraser doing the cinematography. There was literally not a piece, there's not a hair out of place Similar to how I'm very excited for the Last of Us series because it's made by HBO, being written and directed somewhat by Neil Druckmann and showrun by Craig Mazin, who made Chernobyl. Mm-hmm. What is out of place here? The actors involved are absolutely incredible with Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey. Mm-hmm. And you've got Nick Offerman suddenly in there, which Nick Offerman is just suddenly in a lot of things, I feel like, and he's awesome. But there's like a lot of good actors in this that it's just, again, you can't, I'm so surprised. Like when, I don't know, when you hire, like, especially Disney would hire somebody maybe that is kind of got not a great track record. I kind of question it. I'm like, are you sure though? But then again, Moon Knight is the same situation. Mm-hmm. So the showrunner for that show does not instill me with confidence, but he made one good series, but his movies that he's written were not a great, didn't have a great track record. So maybe that's like, it's a bit of a mixed bag. So I'm curious. Again, nothing's a sure thing until we see it, but I'm very excited for this because of the trailer, but I'm tentatively scared. Mm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, man. I think that's fair.
Okay. Alrighty. Cool. Did you watch anything else or should we move on to the news?
I did not watch anything else, but we shouldn't move on.
But we are moving on. Let's begin with a small collection of more focused stories that have been particularly pertinent this week. Number one, as followed by publication The Hollywood Reporter, cable network AMC is looking to expand their The Walking Dead universe with yet another spinoff called Isle of the Dead, which will take place in the city of New York and will be showrun by longtime The Walking Dead writer Eli Jorn. The new 6-episode series will feature The Walking Dead characters Negan and Maggie, with Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Lauren Cohen reprising their very popular roles from the baseline The Walking Dead series. So far, AMC has previously planned for 4 The Walking Dead TV spin-off series, apart from its mainline The Walking Dead show, with Isle of the Dead being the 5th. Fear the Walking Dead World Beyond, Tales of the Walking Dead, the upcoming Daryl and Carol-centered show, the entitled Rick Grimes feature films, and the new Isle of the Dead series will comprise AMC's The Walking Dead lineup when the mainline The Walking Dead show ends after its 11th season. To speak to his excitement for the new series, actor Jeffrey Dean Morgan stated, quote, "I'm delighted that Negan and Maggie's journey continues. It's been such a ride walking in Negan's shoes. I'm beyond excited to continue his journey in New York City with Lauren. Walkers in an urban setting has always been such a cool image. But Fifth Avenue, Empire State Building, Statue of Liberty, the greatest city in the world. The backdrop is amazing, but it's the story that Eli Jorn cooked up that is even better. Buckle up, folks. Isle of the Dead is going to reinvent the Walking Dead universe. Huge thank you to Dan McDermott, Scott Gimple, and AMC for having us back for more. We simply can't wait," unquote. Adrian, The Walking Dead, has got a lot of spinoffs. And I actually...
Too many, arguably.
I don't know if there's too many. I guess it's working for them, and they must be seeing the numbers. So they must think this is a good idea. But what do you make of this new series that takes place in New York?
Well, I'll start with a couple of positives. I think the setting of New York is brilliant. I think that's a really...
Yeah, me too.
I think that's just genius. And that's awesome.
Yeah.
And obviously, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is excited about that as well. And again, I think the idea of Negan and Maggie kind of going off and doing a thing together after, their history from the mainline show and kind of where the show has progressed with those two characters in Walking Dead, it's awesome. The downside about this whole thing is why announce this already? Because it takes away so much of the tension of this last season. Them announcing that Daryl and Carol spinoff, I think we briefly talked about that as well when that was announced, how now we just know Daryl and Carol aren't going to die. So any sort of scene where it's like, oh, they might die, it's just like, yeah, whatever, they're not going to because they literally have their own spinoff show. And now this is the exact same thing with these two characters, with Maggie and Negan, is they obviously survive the events of The Walking Dead. So if any sort of big climax is occurring where, again, they're on someone has a knife to their throat or whatever, it's just like, they're fine. Who cares? And it just removes all that tension, which is so stupid, because I feel like what The Walking Dead does brilliantly and did brilliantly for so many years is that level of tension, that feeling that, oh shit, nobody's safe. Anyone can die at any moment. A character getting their throat slit in front of a prison, or sorry, their head cut off in front of a prison with a goddamn katana. Like, it's just like, it's shit like that made The Walking Dead so great. This shock, and along with like fantastic storytelling for a lot of those seasons too. And I think this is just a huge misstep. Like, how soon is this show airing? The Walking Dead is on its 11th season right now. It's going to be over in a few months. Just wait the few months. Like, what is the purpose of announcing this and letting everyone know about this? And that's where kind of my frustration comes in with this announcement. I think it's a great idea. I'm sold on the idea. Again, New York being the setting is fucking awesome. But this is just, I think, a silly move on AMC's part. And yeah, I don't see the point to it. What do you think?
It's like business before plot, like business before art kind of situation. Like, we know that this is going to sell viewership. So we need to tell people ahead of time. Like, it's, I don't know, like executives in a boardroom decide of this, not the creators. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's what it seems like for sure. And it's pretty ridiculous. It's funny. I was talking to a friend where I work about the fact that, I don't know if you know this, but I mean, The Walking Dead's ending. He's a fan of The Walking Dead. He watches the mainline show, and I think he watches Fear the Walking Dead as well. And I was like, oh, it's ending after the 11th season. Like, the main show is ending, which is crazy. But, I mean, they still got so many spinoffs in the works. In fact, they've got like this Carol and Daryl show that they're cooking. And he's like, oh, what? That spoils it. Instantly. It's funny. So it's not, I know you said that, but this guy's not really, he doesn't watch a lot of TV shows or movies, but he instantly realized that's a spoiler. He's in the middle of season 10, actually.
Oh, nice.
So it's pretty weird. Yeah, it's a great season. But it's pretty weird. I agree with you. It's just, what are you doing? I don't even get it. Thank goodness he doesn't listen to our podcast, because we'd be spoiling the other bit.
Yeah.
About this other. We're not spoiling anything, though. They literally, it's a public announcement. They made it very public that this is a show with the names Maggie and Negan on the poster.
Yeah.
Like, it's not unclear at all. It's kind of ridiculous that they're doing this. It doesn't make any sense. I completely agree with you. I just found it funny that he said that so instantly. I was like, oh yeah, I guess so. And then my answer to him, because I didn't want it to be spoiled for him, I was like, well, they could be doing, it could be an in-between. There's a lot of time jumps, you know what I mean? Like, they could still die. Because I tried to save him, but it's like, I don't know. I guess they don't really care about it. So should we? I don't know. It's just a very strange thing, but you're right. It's a question of anyone could die at any moment. So will that happen? We don't know.
Yeah.
But these characters, I guess it could be. I guess there could be a time jump in season 11. Maybe they're in New York during that time jump, but New York's kind of far
it's very far
from Georgia. Or sorry, I don't remember where they left off, and I don't want you to tell me, because they were in Georgia at one point, but they move around a lot. I'm not caught up, and that would be a spoiler for real. So
it's France.
Yeah, it's France. That's isn't that what you said as well?
Yeah, that's another one of my disappointments in this is like, cool that you're doing all these spinoffs and stuff, but we're only seeing the states. And I understand that there's many states in America. There's over 50 of them, Simon. I don't know if you know.
Yeah,
this.
Crazy. Yeah, I know.
But although, like, I don't think you necessarily have to have a show in every single state or like traveling through these states. I think there's just, the world's big, man. Why don't we have like one of these seasons take place in Canada, like during the cold winters or something like that, up north, even further than just like where we live in Ontario, or like what's going on in the UK or Australia or, Asia and stuff like that. Like, why aren't we touching on these other areas of the world, which I think would be so cool and unique. And I think that's one of the reasons why, like, I think so many zombie movies and stuff take place in America, but I think there's a few that, kind of set themselves apart that's super interesting. I think, Train to Busan, that taking place in Korea, it's a different setting. It's a different feel. It
is also a South Korean film, to be honest, though.
Yeah, that's fair as well. But, or even 28 Days Later, which takes place in the UK as an example. Again, I feel like
Danny Boyle is he's from the UK as well.
Yeah, I'm aware, but I'm just saying
they're kind of making what they know a little bit. It seems like, but you're right. At this point, though, with a franchise like The Walking Dead, you're right, though. I agree with you. Like, why are you making this many spinoffs? And where the hell is the Rick Grimes show? That's what I want to know.
The movies, yeah.
Sorry, the movies.
Because I think they announced, didn't they announce that there was going to be 3 of them? They were going to make 3 Rick Grimes related movies. And that was back in 2018, I want to say.
They kept, I think they announced 1 at first, and then they just kept saying they're still working on them. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay. And then they eventually said they're making 3, and then they just keep saying they're working on them, but there's just nothing about that. And I haven't seen Andrew Lincoln, the actor, in much.
Yeah. I don't.
Although I thought he was going to be in everything. Mm-hmm. It's actually kind of like Matthew Fox from Lost. Mm-hmm. I thought that guy would be in everything. And the only one who I keep seeing everywhere is Evangeline Lilly, really.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Oh, Daniel Kim I've seen a few times too.
Yeah, he's in.
I guess there are a few actors that I've seen in various things, but I feel like Matthew Fox and Terry O'Quinn, I thought I was going to see in everything. Mm-hmm. I just haven't seen them barely.
Interesting.
So, yeah. Anyway.
Matthew Fox was in World War Z.
Oh, wow. Connections to zombies. Well done, Adrian.
Thanks.
Story number 2. As publication Variety reports, the Batman director Matt Reeves' previously planned Gotham Police Department-centered TV series has been put on hold at HBO Max, while the Colin Farrell starring Penguin limited series has officially been greenlit by the streamer. Reeves has just started to build out his new non-DC Extended Universe connected Batman live-action universe, with the recent release of the Batman film at the beginning of March. The first HBO Max TV series designed to tie in to what Adrian and I have dubbed the Bat Reeves-averse was meant to be a series following a corrupt Gotham PD cop during the Batman's first year on the scene in the city of Gotham. The series was initially going to be showrun by Boardwalk Empire showrunner Terrence Winter until he dropped out in November of 2021. Gary Hadji showrunner Joe Barton was presumably hired on in Winter's place, but little did we know, Barton was actually hired on to showrun an HBO Max TV show centered around Arkham Asylum's inmates instead. According to Reeves, who was recently interviewed on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, HBO Max didn't love that the original Gotham PD series was centered around a corrupt cop, and as a result, the Gotham PD show was shelved. The new Arkham show is designed to be almost a horror series of sorts, with Reeves describing it as, quote, "We've actually now moved more into the realm of exactly what would happen in the world of Arkham as it relates coming off of our movie and some of the characters and their origins, almost leaning into the idea of it's like a horror movie or a haunted house that is Arkham. The idea, again, the way that Gotham is a character in the movie, I really want Arkham to exist as a character. You go into this environment and encounter these characters in a way that feels really fresh. And so in our work on Gotham, that story started to evolve. And it started feeling like, wait, we should really lean into this. And then that's kind of where that's gone," unquote. Adrian, what do you make of this? What do you make of this shuffle, this little change?
Well, the first thing I make of this is thank God this scoop didn't come from Jake's Takes podcast. Because if it was 3 weeks in a row that Jake's Takes is getting all those scoops, I would have snapped.
Right.
But again,
why not us? Why not us? Huh?
I'm both happy, sad, I'm happy, sad, and confused that it wasn't on our podcast.
You're happy about it?
No.
Okay.
I'm not happy. I'm the opposite of happy. I'm unhappy, Simon.
You're unhappy, sad, and confused.
Exactly. But I'll be honest, I kind of like this idea. I arguably like this idea more than this Gotham PD show, following a corrupt cop. I
like the corrupt cop. When Matt Reeves describes the corrupt cop situation, I really like it. I think it's really cool.
I like that as an idea too, yeah.
It's about redemption. It's a redemption story, but he's a really corrupt cop, and it doesn't really follow. That would be very neat. And that's why Terrence Winter was attached. It makes sense.
Yeah. But I really like this idea of just kind of, again, leaning into Arkham, Arkham Asylum. And we're following a bunch of characters within Arkham Asylum. I think this is a great opportunity to add more of those rogues gallery villains into this Bat Reeves-averse without, having to bog down a movie and have, 8 villains in a single movie. But, maybe we can touch on different characters. Maybe we can see, Harley Quinn being one of the, therapists there or psychiatrists there or whatever prior to her turning. I think you can do a lot with this. And I think the idea of it being a horror movie or a haunted house sort of thing about Arkham is such a brilliant idea, and I would love to see that come into fruition. I'm kind of curious on how you would do that, and like how, like who you would follow as like a main character, and kind of what the story elements would be there, and whether it would be Batman actually in Arkham and doing stuff like that, or bringing villains in. I feel like there's a lot of interesting stuff you could do with this, and I don't necessarily know what the main idea is for this, but again, I just really like the idea of Arkham as a setting and just kind of doubling down. Again, Gotham, you even mentioned this. Gotham was a character in the Batman, and if you can make Arkham the character of the show as well, why the hell not? Yeah, do this. I'm super curious about this. What do you think?
Yeah, it's really cool. That's neat. I'm getting some like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest kind of vibes. It would be kind of neat though if they don't leave Arkham. They just kind of hang the camera there. Like they never really move it outside. Although One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest does do it a little bit, but I feel like it would be neat if they just kind of hang around and just show the very eerie nature of what it is. And like we talked about on our podcast, how we're a big fan of the Telltale series of Batman games, like the video games. And they hang around Arkham for quite a bit, for like a full episode or two, because that's an episodic series, to go back to what we were talking about before. And some of those episodes were really interesting. It was neat to be inside Arkham with Bruce Wayne and kind of feel that kind of the tension of the various villains that are not necessarily villains yet. Like that's the cool thing, is that we're starting in a very early Batman stage. Like this starts with Batman Year 2. So we're probably running from Batman Year 2 and we can be developing some of these villains. It would be neat to see, again, them flesh out these villains and then tie it in appropriately into the sequel. That would be very neat. And Harley Quinn's a neat idea, but maybe you're kind of excited to see maybe a Mr. Freeze type situation come somehow down the woodwork. Maybe he's already there. I don't know if that works exactly, because you might want to introduce him in a different way, but there are many villains in this rogues gallery that they can tap into. And one of the great things that Matt Reeves started with for the Batman and for this Batman trilogy and this whole universe he's building is the rogues gallery. He's building out the rogues gallery in a way that Christopher Nolan didn't necessarily do as well. Christopher Nolan's kind of movies, I feel like, were a bit more grounded, and these are going a little bit more into not necessarily the extremes. There's some grounded nature of it, but I feel like it's going into the bit more of the giant repertoire of villains that Batman has, the Batman lore has at its disposal.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting, and this is doubling down on that if this happens. My question is this going to happen? Because the Penguin series was greenlit now by HBO Max, but this show is nowhere to be heard from, except for Matt Reeves talking about it on this podcast. So I'm kind of curious about that.
Yeah, whether or not we actually get it. I hope we do.
But the Colin Farrell thing is happening. So,
which is awesome.
Which is great. Yeah.
Which is really awesome. Yeah, man. Again, I'm definitely sold on the Penguin series, and if they do end up doing this Arkham series,
the Penguin,
yeah, the Penguin series,
Penguin,
yeah, Penguin. That's what I said.
Yeah, no, I know, I heard you.
And again, I'll be sold on this as well. And last week, was it last week when we talked about the Batman? I think so.
Yeah. Batman came out last week.
Oh damn!
What?
Feels like a lifetime ago.
Yes.
But like
not too long ago, because you didn't have time to watch Turning Red. So
I'm sorry, man. I mentioned like I would love to see like a Mr. Freeze be like in that universe, and because it's a very interesting story. But another, I feel like I was thinking a bit about it too. Like another character I feel like would work really well in this sort of universe. Again, and you can double down on the whole world's greatest detective thing once again, and him, like going into crime scenes and stuff like that, is like Victor Zsasz, who, he's in the Gotham series as well, but is just like a serial killer, kills so many people. And I feel like you could.
Well, he's in the Nolan Batman movies as well.
Oh yeah, he is, isn't he?
Yeah,
totally forgot about him.
He's an easy one. For sure.
But yeah, you could do something with him, which I think would be pretty neat. Just Batman like going to these like crazy murder scenes again, and just keep on doing these like detective sort of noir thriller movies. It'd be really neat. But yeah,
I think it'd be easier also to put him into the Arkham show.
Yeah,
because he's kind of like he's a classic serial killer.
Classic serial killer.
Just marks up his body with murders. He doesn't have any, he's not as special as like Man-Bat. You know what I'm saying? What?
I don't know. I was gonna make a Man-Bat noise, and then I started going like meh, and then I was like, I actually don't know how Man-Bat sounds like.
I feel like it would just be a screech if you were gonna make fun of him. You'd be
like that.
I don't know. What sounds do bats make?
Oh,
yeah,
I'm a bat.
I think so. I'm gonna give you COVID.
Oh,
COVID-19.
COVID.
That's too real. I don't think that's funny. Anyway, let's move on to the next story. Number 3. As publication deadline reports, Warner Brothers has shifted 6 of its blockbuster films due to a visual effects studio backlog. The backlog was created back in 2020 due to the rush to kickstart production after COVID-related production shutdowns when the pandemic began. As a result, animated film DC League of Super Pets has been moved back from May 20th to July 29th. The Jason Momoa starring Aquaman film sequel was moved from December 16th, 2022 to a new March 17th, 2023 release date. The Michael Keaton starring The Flash movie has been shifted back from November 4th, 2022 to June 23rd, 2023. And the Timothée Chalamet starring film Wonka has been shuffled from a March 17th, 2023 release date to a December 15th, 2023 date instead. In contrast, the Zachary Levi starring Shazam! Fury of the Gods movie has been moved up from a June 2nd, 2023 debut date to a December 16th, 2022 premiere, because apparently the Shazam sequel is all but ready for release ahead of schedule.
Huh.
Lastly, the Megalodon shark movie sequel, The Meg 2, The Trench, has now been scheduled for release on August 4th, 2023. Adrian, lots of shuffling here. What do you make of this?
I make that this is a little disappointing. I'm just so curious about that fucking Flash movie and like how it's gonna possibly, do like a soft reset on this universe and, having Michael Keaton there and Ben Affleck there. I'm so curious about that. And I really like Andy Muschietti as well. I love those It movies. So that is like kind of my biggest takeaway from this. Honestly, Aquaman being moved back, I don't really care about that. I didn't really like that first Aquaman movie. And again, like, I just don't really care all that much, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. And all in all, I'm just kind of disappointed about this. It's cool that like Shazam is being moved forward though by that much. It's essentially just swapping places with the Flash movie, which is kind of interesting. And it's also releasing the same day as Avatar 2, which is an interesting play by Warner Brothers. Cause I feel like
weird.
Yeah. I don't really give a fuck about Avatar 2. I'll probably watch it.
Or maybe they're realizing what we've been saying all along about Avatar.
That it's just like no one cares about it anymore?
No one cares.
Yeah, it's possible.
It's over. It had its moment.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. I think that it will still do well.
I think it's a weird one. I imagine Avatar 2 is going to do well. And like I'm probably still going to watch it as much as I don't like that first Avatar movie just because I'm so freaking curious. Like what? Like it's been like over a decade. Like it's like what the fuck? I'm just curious what they're going to do and how they're going to make Avatar 2 interesting in any way. Because again, that first movie kind of sucks.
It's also the fact that they're launching another 3 movies after this, banking on the concept of the fact that this movie is going to do well when they have no idea because it's been 10 years. That's what's so crazy.
Yeah.
That they even filmed, like, I think, them back to back in some way. I just don't understand that. But I guess there's got to be, they must have taken polls. They must understand that people still are very keen on Avatar.
Yeah.
But it's just been so long that time has changed. Like stuff has changed by a large margin.
It is like one of the top grossing movies of all time. So like, I think they're just kind of doubling down on that. But I don't know, when you like think about like inflation and stuff, it's not the exact same thing. But if there's like a Gone with the Wind 2, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think people are going to be rushing out to theaters and being like, oh, I can't. God, Gone with the Wind 2? Are you serious? You know what I mean?
That's an interesting like analogy. I don't know if it's the same because it's like that's like a 100-year gap versus a 10-year gap. But yeah, it's a multiple that adds a 0. But yeah, that's an interesting one because there is a huge gap in between. Although for the record, and I wonder if this was one of the reasons they did this, they relaunched the Avatar in China, like the first
good point.
to see what it would do, because they wanted to, like, I don't know if they wanted to like beat their old total to try and beat Endgame, like Avengers Endgame, because it had overtaken them. But they did do that, and that was kind of interesting. I was like, why are you doing this now? And I think they did that in 2019, or I believe so.
I think it was 2020, no? Oh, no, it was definitely 2019 because everything changed in 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when the
Fire Nation attacked.
There you go. See, you've said that so many times throughout my life that I feel like I don't know how you didn't just say it there without me cueing you, but that's why I'm here.
Yeah, when we watched The Batman, I was talking to your brother because he actually watched Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, did you watch it based on my recommendation from many episodes ago? And he's like, kind of, partially. He's just like, I was like, that's nice. That's nice. It's a great show, and he agrees. You should watch it, Simon. You should watch it.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Your brother's a smart man.
No, that I don't disagree with, but
it's good taste. But real quick, The Meg, it's an all right movie. So I'm kind of excited for The Meg, too. I'm going to watch it. Why the hell not? The Trench. Weren't they going to make that Aquaman spinoff literally called The Trench?
They were, and that was going to be, wasn't that involving
the weird fish people in Aquaman?
But it was a horror movie, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah. I think that was the initial plan. Yeah.
And then they scrapped it because it was too different, which I always find so weird.
It's stupid. You should just go. Let the creators create. So it's interesting. I wonder, I guess the Meg 2 is just like, I guess we can take The Trench now. Because they're not doing it. Or the Meg 2 takes place in Aquaman universe.
Yeah, it's actually connected all along. Like, with the Cloverfield type situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or like how the fact that definitely the movie Life with Ryan Reynolds is definitely connected to Venom.
Yeah, it's a prequel.
But not really at all. But if it was, Venom would have been 5 times better.
I know. God, what a missed opportunity. That's so frustrating.
So dumb. Yeah.
So frustrating.
It's a bad move by Sony. Anyway,
whatever.
It is what it is. I really like that Life movie. It's great.
Me too.
Yeah, I don't know.
I remember going there to the theater with you.
We jokingly thought that there was going to be a tie-in, though.
Yeah.
I legitimately, like, not completely. We weren't like just joking, suggesting it. We just thought, based on our knowledge of Venom, that how could it not be? Because Venom was coming out the next year in 6 months or something like that. So again, it would have been so good.
I know, what a missed opportunity.
It would have been a different take. Yeah. Oh well. Okay.
Stupid.
Who cares? Who cares, Adrian?
I do.
I agree with you though about the Flash. The Flash movie, I am very excited for too. Like the Andy Muschietti directed Flash movie, and that is the most disappointing part of this. Mm-hmm. Although they have no choice, it's not like they move them back for some stupid reason and they're going to put them on HBO Max in the end or something like that.
Yeah.
They have a backlog like for visual effects, and that's what's going on. But the Flash movie, like, how long can we postpone this? Like, this has been hyped for far too long. Like, I feel like they kind of failed us by just keeping, like, they keep announcing at like the DC fandom, etc. You know what I mean? Like, just stop talking about it. At a certain point, like, you're hyping this far too long. Mm-hmm. It becomes what's a good example of a movie that was hyped for too long?
Avatar 2.
An Avatar situation. Oh, we tied it right back in.
Yeah, baby.
We're just so great at this. We're just great. We're just great podcasters. We need to be hired by some big organization. McDonald's, we're ready to be sponsored. Yeah. We're ready. We love the Big Mac. We love it. Anyway,
I do love a nice Big Mac. Step aside, Jake's Takes. This is our turf now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, get on here, Matt Reeves. We want to talk to you about smoking. Actually, no, that would have been Colin Farrell. Get on here, Colin Farrell. We want to talk about smoking on film. Mm-hmm. Come on, buddy.
And why it's cool.
Yeah, no, not why it's cool. It's not cool. It's not cool.
Agree to disagree.
No, don't do that. I can hear you. I don't know if you know that, but I can hear everything you say.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because that would allow me to answer you and dialogue. That's one of the advantages. We're not just doing monologues and piecing it together. That would make Jimmy's job very hard.
That would?
Our audio video technician.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does the edits. He's very good, by the way. Very good.
I'm glad.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Adrian, now onto the montage, a sequence of our show in which I briefly present the week's smaller news stories as Adrian delivers a brisk verdict. Number 1, as Publication Variety reports, Black Widow actor Florence Pugh has been cast as Princess Irulan in director Denis Villeneuve's upcoming Dune sequel.
Oh my goodness, this cast is great. I like Florence Pugh.
Number 2, as website Collider reports, the Natasha Lyonne starring and showrun second season of time loop science fiction series Russian Doll will be arriving on Netflix on April 20th, 2022.
I never watched the first season. I know it was well regarded though.
Yeah, my brother really likes it from what he's told me.
That's good.
And you said he has good taste, so maybe you should jump in.
Maybe I should.
Number 3, as reported by Variety, network AMC has recently greenlit a crime drama TV series called The Driver, which will be showrun by Billion screenwriter Theo Travers and feature Better Call Saul star Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I wonder if it's based off the video game franchise called Driver or something. I don't remember exactly. Sorry, Ken.
It isn't. Number 4, as Variety reports, director Matt Reeves' The Batman officially garnered the biggest box office result of 2022 so far, and the second largest domestic opening weekend of the pandemic era, with a North American total of $134 million in ticket sales and a global tally of $258 million.
Absolutely amazing work by Bat Reeves and Company.
Number 5. According to Deadline, Amazon is in negotiations with Sony PlayStation to create a God of War TV series adaptation for streaming service Amazon Prime Video.
Oh, that's actually quite interesting. I'm curious what they're going to do with this and who they're going to cast. I feel like just bringing Christopher Judge again.
Number 6. As followed by The Hollywood Reporter, Free Guy and The Adam Project director Sean Levy has just been hired on as the director for the Ryan Reynolds starring Deadpool 3 film.
Oh, interesting. Neato. I didn't watch The Adam Project yet. Free Guy was all right. Seems like they're best friends now.
Number 7. Saturday Night Live star Pete Davidson is writing and starring in a TV series inspired by his life, tentatively called Bupkis. Saturday Night Live producer Lorne Michaels is also set to executive produce the new series.
Isn't the movie King of Staten Island just about his life as well? Loosely?
I think somewhat loosely based. I think this is also going to be loosely based about another aspect of his life, apparently.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. Number 8. As Deadline reports, Judy actor Renee Zellweger has just been cast as the leader of U.S. Air Force unit The Wasps in NBC Universal's new World War II-based Peacock TV show called Avengerfield, which is based around the all-women U.S. Air Force unit.
Neat. I mean, Renee Zellweger is a phenomenal actor, so that's cool.
Number 9, as reported by Variety, Pam and Tommy actor Nick Offerman has just been cast in Palm Springs screenwriter Andy Sierra's new comedic thriller series, The Resort. It is also set to star Kristen Milotti and William Jackson Harper.
Neato. Palm Springs is great. Nick Offerman's great. Why the hell not? Let's do this.
Number 10, according to Variety, Drake and Josh star Josh Peck has just been cast in director Christopher Nolan's star-studded World War II Oppenheimer film, alongside stars Cillian Murphy, Robert Downey Jr., Emily Blunt, and Matt Damon.
I keep on forgetting how nuts that cast is for that movie. It's absolutely unbelievable. I'm very excited for this movie.
And more. I mean, I said some of the people.
Yeah, there's at least more actors.
And that concludes the montage.
At least one more montage.
Adrian, I know you're hungry.
I'm a hungry hippo.
So let's get to it. What do you got for me, my friend?
Hungry hippo.
What do you got for me? What? Why do you keep saying that?
The live action movie Hungry Hippos. That's an After Party reference.
Yeah, how good were those references? How crazy was the little cameos in that show as well? Yeah.
There's quite a few. What a good show.
I name dropped somebody. I don't know if you remember this, but when I started talking about After Party in the very beginning, it was like one of the first episodes. I watched it and then I name dropped it during the podcast, like a certain actor. I wonder if you picked up on who. If you remember or not.
I don't remember.
There was somebody I said, and you're like, and you kind of, I heard you question it. I think it might have been during the montage or something. And you're like, what? He's in it? And then I just kept going. And then you just never acknowledged it.
Yeah. Did you say Will Forte?
I didn't.
Okay.
There's someone else. Someone even more famous. Although I love Will Forte.
Yeah.
Do you call him Will Forte? Because I'm pretty sure his name is Will Forte.
Will Forte. With an E.
Forte.
Fort.
You gotta accentuate the E.
Fort.
Yeah. Will Forte is really good.
He's amazing.
I like him a lot. He's really cool.
I love him.
I watched this I watched this like Seth Meyers interview with him. That was like a off the cuff like kind of interview. It wasn't during like, because Seth Meyers obviously runs his late night show, but there was like as a skit. Mm-hmm. It was absolutely outrageous. I laughed multiple times out loud. I could not believe how ridiculous it was. They just played off of each other so well, because I guess they worked together on SNL, but he asked them like a bunch of stupid questions, and I think they played a drinking game at one point, and then they played some other ridiculous. I think I should send you the clip because it's definitely entertaining. I can't remember the name of it, but it was based on the Seth Meyers late night show.
Yeah, do it up. I'd be happy to watch it, but don't actually send it to me. Send it to Jimmy, and then he'll send it to me because we don't talk outside this podcast.
I know, because we're keeping it professional, keeping it fresh for the audience. But anyway, Adrian, I did ask you the question of, before you started saying hungry, hungry hippos 100 times, I was asking you what you got for me, and you never answered. So what do you got for me?
I got new releases for you, Simon.
Oh.
So this is the week of March 14th to March 20th. That's a Monday to a Sunday, as per usual. And the first movies coming out on Tuesday, March the 15th. And the first one of that is a movie called Adam by Eve, a live in animation. It's a Netflix original anime, live action, and music event that all these things intertwine in this special music film by artist Eve. Do you know who Eve is?
No.
Me neither.
Maybe I've heard this person's music, but I don't know.
I don't know either. But seems like a cool premise, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know. But anyways,
you like very recently asked me whether I know, like whether I listen to the Foo Fighters. Mm-hmm. You remember that?
Yeah.
Because there's the Foo Fighters made a movie, which I think is honestly really cool. I didn't really comment enough on that. I think that's a really neat idea.
Yeah. Studio 666. I wonder if that's reviewing well. I still want to watch it.
Yeah, it's neat. Anyways, I said no, but honestly, yes. I've heard many Foo Fighters songs over the years. I just don't explicitly listen to it. I just want to set the record straight, just to be clear, because they're pretty cool. Dave Grohl is a pretty cool guy.
He's a super cool guy.
He's like that first Foo Fighters album. Did you know that he just did it himself?
I didn't know that, no.
It was just him on every instrument.
That's super cool.
If I recall correctly, I feel like that is the case, though. I'm 99% sure that's the case.
Yeah. So Studio 666 is 56% on Rotten Tomatoes, but the audience score is 81. So, I don't know, it looks fun. It looks like something I want to watch. Jenna Ortega is also apparently in this. Jenna Ortega's in a lot of these random like horror slasher movies, because there's a movie coming out this week that she's also in. She was just in the Scream, like the new Scream movie as well.
Oh yeah,
she's also in You.
Yeah. She is.
Yeah. She's great.
That's where I first saw her, I think.
I forget where I saw her first. Definitely seen her in other stuff. But anyway, she's really great. But yeah, anyway, so that movie's coming out. Adam by Eve, alive in animation. Marilyn's Eyes is up next. Is a Netflix original Italian comedy about a creative pair creating a restaurant together.
Oh.
Yeah. Moon Manor is up next. It's confirmed by Movie Insider and the Apple TV app. This is a video on demand movie about and it's a comedy about a guy with Alzheimer's.
Oh. What?
And his Alzheimer's is worsening, so he decides that he just wants to die. And then we follow him on his final day.
That's not a comedy.
It's literally...
You're joshing me.
It's marketed as a comedy.
You're Josh pecking me here.
What? Is that a phrase that you're going to use now? What
did I say?
Did you ever watch Drake and Josh?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, years ago.
Yeah.
When I was a wee lad.
Yeah, me too. I like Drake and Josh quite a bit. Drake and Josh, there's Drake and Josh, and then, eventually you got iCarly and stuff like that too. Good times.
Drake kind of went the opposite direction. Drake is not in good shape, but Josh is in a Christopher Nolan movie, man. So
yeah, good for him. Yeah, like
different trajectories.
What was the thing with Drake recently?
I don't know. He got arrested. Wasn't it like a
child endangerment or something?
Yeah, something with children.
Yeah, I can look this up. Drake. Child endangerment. Drake child.
I feel like if you type in Drake, though, you're going to get the rapper, like the Canadian rapper.
Yeah.
Who's also based out of Toronto, much like the incredible movie Turning Red that Adrian hasn't seen.
Yeah. So Jared Drake Bell, he's 34, of West Hollywood, California, pleaded guilty via Zoom to felony attempted child endangerment and a misdemeanor charge of disseminating matter harmful to juveniles.
Okay.
Sentencing is scheduled for July 12th in Cleveland.
Doesn't exactly tell us what he did, but yeah.
Yeah. Too bad. Anyways, next up is Thursday, March 17th. There's a movie called Rescued by Ruby. This is confirmed by Netflix. It's a Netflix original movie starring Grant Gustin, who is the Flash in the Flash TV series. And this is about a state trooper and their dog. And this looks just like from the poster and stuff. It looks so bleh. Just doesn't look good. It has this, I don't know, there's something about it where I'm just like, this just looks like shit. This looks like one of those cheap Hallmark style looking ass movies. It just doesn't look good. Grant Gustin, nothing against him. I don't like those CW shows or anything, but it just looks dumb. Anyways.
Yeah, I actually had something to say. I forgot to say this last week. I don't want to talk too long about this, but we talked about Uncharted. We reviewed it, right?
Yeah, we did.
Uncharted, I mentioned that Uncharted was like almost like a CW version of Uncharted, and that all these people were like really good looking, and that they had all these good looking people. But the reason why I actually mentioned this, I lost the plot. When I was listening back when I was editing the episode, I realized, I didn't say what I was going to say about that. There are so many shirtless scenes. What is up with that?
Oh yeah, there's quite a few shirtless scenes.
Unnecessarily in Uncharted. Like it is like there's no. It's exactly like the CW in a way in that regard too. You notice that, right?
Yeah, you're definitely right.
It's weird, and I can kind of understand. Like I'm piecing together why Tom Holland said the things he said in that interview about Nathan Drake not being stoic. The stoic part, I have no idea where he got that, because they're making quips the whole time, so no idea what he was talking about there. Because you made fans pretty worried about the movie, considering he said that Nathan Drake is a very stoic character, and he has played Uncharted, so I don't understand where he got that. But regardless, he also said that he's like constantly posing all the time. But I'm like, I understand now what you're talking about. There's like a workout scene with him.
Yeah.
There's like a scene in which he's just shirtless for no reason, sitting on a couch.
Yeah, him and his hot nipples just hanging out.
It was very weird. There's at least 3 shirtless scenes, I'm pretty sure. So if you want to see Tom Holland shirtless, that's the movie for you.
It's true.
Basically.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's why I don't know. It's doing incredibly well. I imagine like a lot of even like teenage women are going, teenage girls. They're like, I love Timothy Holland. I just want to see him shirtless. That's what they're saying.
Yeah. Well, they maybe didn't know.
Yeah.
I feel like they didn't have enough shirtless moments in the trailer.
Yeah. Simon, I relate to a small Asian girl, and I wanted to watch this movie. So.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, makes sense. I'm bringing it back from the start.
In my mind, I just actually kind of related that to Turning Red, what you just said, in some way. So I'm not going to say how it's related necessarily, but it's interesting. It's interesting. You got to see that movie, buddy. You got to see that movie.
Sounds good.
Let's move on to the next movie that's coming out this week, not Uncharted, which came out many weeks ago.
Unfarted. I said that joke last week, too. That was a good joke.
Let's move on.
Anyways, the rest of the movies are coming out on Friday, March the 18th. The first one is a movie called Black Crab.
Yep.
This is a Netflix original movie starring Noomi Rapace. And it's a Swedish action movie about a mother trying to save her daughter and end an apocalyptic war.
Yeah.
2 fairly different things.
Yeah.
But anyways. Without Saying Goodbye is the next Netflix original movie. It's a Spanish rom-com about 2 individuals who meet in Peru, Simon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So maybe it's a Peruvian rom-com. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Anyways, Windfall is up next. This is a Netflix original movie starring Jason Segel, Jesse Plemons, and Lily Collins. And this movie's about a man robbing an empty vacation home, only to be met with the billionaire who owns it and his wife.
Just to be clear, I'm pretty sure it's Jason Segel.
Seagal.
It's Segel.
He's not a goddamn bird, Simon.
I'm pretty sure he pronounces his name Jason Segel. It seems like it should be Seagal, though.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it's Segel.
It doesn't seem right. Doesn't seem right.
You know who Jason Segel is, right?
Of course I know who Jason Seagal is. From the hit TV series How I Met Your Mother. Simon?
I know that you don't want to relate you're trying to not relate to seagulls at all because you do a raptor.
Don't you dare.
Impression that sounds very much like a dying seagull.
It does not.
But oh man,
sounds great.
Hold on. Ready?
Yeah.
I got the pronouncednames.com situation here. This is from Google directly. Ready?
The hit segment of our show.
Jason Segel.
That's fucked. That's wrong.
You know why I know this? It's funny. I think the reason I have this, and I sent this to you on Christmas. Sorry, I don't send anything to you, of course.
Never
have. Not talking about the podcast. Yada yada yada.
Never have. No
but
problem.
regardless, somehow I sent you through proxy, etc.
Through Segel.
A clip. And actually, was it a clip? I think so. Yeah, no, it was the YouTube video, and you never even responded, which was disrespectful because it was literally on Christmas Day. You just didn't respond to me.
I was too busy making Christmas dinner, Simon.
Regardless, anyway. Yeah, it's whatever.
Christmas.
And offering me butter tarts that you never delivered on. But regardless.
You motherfucker, I brought you butter tarts last week.
You spelled Jason Segel's name wrong, too. That's also a problem. That's probably why you say his name is Jason Segel, because you spelled it wrong. It's Segel, not A-L. You have it S-E-G-A-L here. Anyway, it's probably what the problem is. But regardless, the reason I know it's Segel is because in the clip, it's Jack Black singing with Jason Segel. Did you watch it? I feel like you probably didn't, because again, you're so quiet here. But it's basically the Little Drummer Boy and Peace on Earth song. You know what I'm talking about? The Bing Crosby and years ago, Bing Crosby and David Bowie did.
Bum, bum, ba, 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 ba.
Yeah, they merged them. They merged them together. They sync over each other.
Ba, 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 da, ba. That one?
Jack Black has a great voice. He's got a great rocker voice. He's great.
I know, man. I love Tenacious D.
But they sing, anyways, they sing over each other. And at the very beginning of the clip, Jack Black's like, because it's supposed to be an audio thing first, although it was turned into a little animated video, which isn't beautifully animated, but it's okay. It's like a college humor video. Mm-hmm. And so Jason Segel rings the doorbell, and Jack Black is like, come in. And then Jason Segel comes in, and then Jack Black says, because it's a song, it's supposed to be in audio form, Jack Black says, oh, look, it's Jason Segel, the actor. That's how I know.
That's amazing.
I know. Wasn't that the greatest story you've ever heard to explain how I know how to pronounce somebody's name? Mm-hmm. That was 5 minutes of our podcast.
You should tell it again sometime, dude.
Yeah, I will. Maybe on episode 90. But also, it's pronounced Lily Collins, not Lily Collins. Anyways, go on.
That's not true. Is it actually?
It isn't true, but I've always wondered how you can spell Lily like that. Based on the English language. I feel like it would be Lily, but it is definitely Lily.
Yeah.
One L? It's weird.
It's super weird.
I've always wondered about that, but I know that it's Lily deep down.
Awesome.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, cool, man. Anyways, the next movie coming out is a movie called Cheaper by the Dozen.
Hey, I'm not crazy.
It's confirmed by movie.
I'm not crazy. Hey, I'm normal.
I know, you're not. I never said that you were crazy. I mean, no one's really normal.
I'm hearing the inflection in your voice. Okay, just keep going. The audience doesn't have to hear it.
No one's really normal, though, Simon. What is normal?
I know.
I'm bringing it back.
What?
Because we talked about that at the beginning of the
No, I know why you're saying
full
this.
circle, dude.
Yeah, you remember when I said welcome to episode 89? I'm bringing it back.
Oh, that's a good one, dude. Great job. And you know what Disney Plus is also bringing back? Cheaper by the Dozen, dude. Is this a remake?
Yeah, I heard.
Question mark of the original? I actually don't know.
It is.
Oh. Do you like Cheaper by the Dozen?
The only reason I like it, I swear, is because it had a pretty good cast, if I recall correctly. Mm-hmm. And Steve Martin's kind of great.
He is great.
But this cast does not interest me at all. So I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look.
Pull it up, baby.
But that cast, by the way, had Steve Martin in it, Hilary Duff, Tom Welling of Smallville, Bonnie Hunt, Piper Perabo. I mean, need I say more?
No, actually, you shouldn't. This new one got Zach Braff.
Yeah.
Gabrielle Union. It's got Luke Prale. It's got Erica Christensen. It's got Kylie Rogers. I don't know any of these people. I know Zach Braff, but I don't really know him. Like, I never met the guy. I just know of him.
Yes. You know who directed the Cheaper by the Dozen movie with Steve Martin?
No.
Sean Levy. Bringing it back, baby.
Whoa!
Bringing it back.
Dude, that's sick. That's sick.
I know, isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Sean Levy, of course, if you weren't listening to the rest of this podcast audience, of course, directed Free Guy and our previous mention, The Adam Project, which I'm going to watch, by the way. That is a really good cast, and it looks really fun.
Maybe I'll watch it as well. Or I won't. I don't know. I'm not going to make any commitments, except for watching Turning Red this week. Anyways, More Than Robots is up next.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I'm going to watch it, dude. I'm going to watch it. Not More Than Robots.
Heard that before.
I don't think I'm going to watch that. I might. Anyways, More Than Robots this is confirmed by Movie Insider.
So you're going to watch More Than Robots, is what you're saying?
No, I said I don't know. I probably won't watch More Than Robots, but I'll watch Turning Red.
Oh, okay. Because I thought you just said not More Than Robots, though.
No, I'm not.
So, I'm not going to watch Turning Red More Than Robots. So
no, I was like,
there's a show called Robots you're going to watch, or maybe just Robots. Maybe you have robots you're going to watch. Maybe you have a Zumba. A Zumba. A Roomba.
A DJ Roomba.
DJ Zumba.
Yeah, Zumba. The dances.
Some Pilates, maybe some yoga. Anyway.
Pilates is a weird word.
This is the longest new releases I think we've done in a while, so let's keep going.
Anyways, More Than Robots confirmed by Movie Insider in the trailer. This is a Disney Plus original movie, and it's actually Gillian Jacobs' directorial debut. And this is a documentary about 4 teams of teenagers around the world as they prepare for the 2020 First Robotics Competition.
Cool. That's neat.
Super cool.
Yeah. Pilates is not a weirder word than Lily Collins. Go on.
Or Bologna.
Next movie coming out.
Deep Water is coming up next. And this was confirmed to me by an advertisement, Simon. And this is coming to Hulu. And then I wrote star ? In brackets. I imagine it is. This is Ben Affleck and Ana de Armas. And they star in this love story. But Simon, the love story is never the whole story, dude. It's the tagline of the movie.
Yeah. And they were in love in real life for a bit.
Were they?
Yeah, they were dating.
I don't know that. Should I just... I'm not even going to mute my mic. Everyone can hear this nice...
It's not that loud.
The nice ding-dong tone of the grandfather clock. The ding-dang-dong, or whatever they call it.
Yep. Yeah.
Anyways, Masters coming up next is confirmed by Movie Insider in the trailer. This is coming to Amazon Prime Video, and it's and it takes place at an elite Northwestern university. A black woman deals with anonymous racist attacks that she's convinced are ghosts from the school's past, Simon. I feel like the more likely option is that there's just racist people at that school.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Also, Ben Affleck and Ana de Armas may not have been in love. I said that as because it was connecting the story. They were dating though. That was real.
Really?
Prior to Ben Affleck dating Jennifer Lopez. You know about that part.
Oh, I know Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck, they're dating. Yeah. Ana de Armas seems so young. Like, how old is she? I feel like she's like
28, maybe.
Ana de Armas. She's 33 years old. Oh my goodness.
Oh, cool.
I would have never guessed. Ben Affleck is what, 50 something?
Yeah, something like that.
But you know what? Who am I to judge? He's 49. If they want to date, you know what? Screw it. They can do whatever they want.
Well, they're not dating anymore, so.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Your approval is dated.
Yeah. Anyways, Toll Booth is up next. It's confirmed by Movie Insider on the Apple TV app. This is a video on demand movie, and it's about a toll booth dude that has his past catch up to him, Simon.
Mike Ehrmantraut.
Yeah, exactly. Next up is a movie called Tethered. This movie actually seems pretty neat. It's confirmed by Movie Insiders in the Apple TV app. It's a video on demand movie about a blind boy and a hunter that he befriends, and then they're being stalked by a shadowy creature in the woods, Simon.
Cool.
Yeah, it seems neat. Jujutsu Kaisen 0 is up next. It's confirmed by Movie Insider and Landmark Cinemas, actually. This is coming to theaters, and I wrote Crunchyroll, ? And this is a prequel to the hit anime of the same name, but the anime's name doesn't have the 0 in it. It's just Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, I see that you wrote that. What does that mean? Ever heard of a fact check? What do you mean? Is it on Crunchyroll or not?
That I don't know. I think it is. I saw some things that it's going to be on Crunchyroll.
Right.
But then I also saw some things that it said that it was just coming to theaters, so I was confused. Crunchyroll and Funimation have now merged into one service, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
You can still get Funimation. They're slowly bringing over all the content to Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll is going to be the main service. Anyways, that's a little bit of an aside.
I think Crunchyroll is the better name. Right?
Yeah, I like the name Crunchyroll.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Anyways, next up is a movie called Uma. And this is confirmed by an advertisement that I saw. It's coming to theaters, and it's a horror movie starring Sandra Oh. that looks spooky. Sandra Oh.
Sandra Oh, also in Turning Red.
Yeah, bringing it back, dude. Oh, my God. That's so good. Bringing it back.
Yeah.
The Outfit is up next. It's confirmed by Cineplex, and this movie follows a guy named Leonard. He's an English tailor, and this is a crime drama.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And this final movie coming out, this one I'm very excited for, actually. It's a movie called X. And it's confirmed by Cineplex. It's coming to theaters. And it's an A24 horror slasher movie that looks awesome. And this is the movie that Jenna Ortega also stars in that I mentioned. And how she's like just in a bunch of slashers.
Yeah, I did see that.
Movies. Yeah. This looks really good. Kid Cudi's in it as well.
It looks like they're filming a porno.
Yeah.
That's what I got the impression of. And then there's slasher shit that goes on.
Yeah, it looks really good. I definitely want to watch this movie.
Yeah.
Am I going to make a commitment to watching it this week? No. Because I failed you once, and I don't want to fail you again. But anyways, that's it. That's all, baby. That's it. That's all. That's it.
Well, it's nice. It's nice when I watch the same movie as you and we can talk about it together. I think it creates a good, cohesive conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Bringing it back, dude. You're bringing it back to this conversation we had at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, exactly.
About how it's good to watch the same movies.
Constantly bringing it back.
Mm-hmm.
I did watch one more thing this week. I just want to talk about just briefly. I wonder if you watched it. The Red Band trailer for The Boys season 3.
Oh, no, I haven't seen it yet.
Watch it, and then you can talk about it next week because it's pretty great. As a trailer, man, what a trailer.
That released today, wasn't
It's
it?
an outrageous trailer.
Or yesterday?
Yeah, it was released today. I was like, I turned it on in my break room when no one was there, but I kept looking back because it's a Red Band trailer, so there's some questionable
Boobs?
footage in there. No boobs, but yeah, it's a very well done trailer though. As the way it's cut is pretty brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just a really well put together trailer.
Yeah.
It definitely makes me interested in the season, especially because they got this like Captain America like hero.
Mm-hmm. With Jensen Ackles playing him from Supernatural fame.
Yeah. So anyway, curious to see what you think about that. Otherwise, Adrian, we are done with our regular scheduled programming of this podcast. So do you have anything to say before we wrap this guy up, or are you also ready to wrap it up?
I'm ready to wrap it up. I'm a hungry hippo, dude. So
Okay.
I'm gonna get to it. But what I will say is that you can find us on all podcast streaming services around the globe, Simon. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Simon. You can find us on YouTube, Simon. You can find us on Google Podcasts, Simon. You can find us on iHeartRadio, Simon. You can also find us on TuneIn Radio, Simon. And Spotify, Simon. You can rate us on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I would appreciate it if you did, Simon.
I have.
And others listening. Oh, nice.
I don't need to do it anymore.
That's amazing.
But other people, I would really appreciate it if you did that. Otherwise, Adrian, thank you for listening to the 89th episode of Split Focus, a film and TV podcast. My name is Simon Eady, and this is Adrian Pinter signing off.
It is I, Adrian Pinter, signing off. And you know who else likes rating podcasts on specific podcast services? Batman from Batman v Superman.
No.
It's a good movie. It's a great movie, even. Along with Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City.
No.
Village.
Also no.
I like that movie. It's a good movie. Anyways, that's it. That's all. Take care. Goodbye.
I know you like it, but it's bad.
It's a good movie.
Goodbye.
It's better than Ready Player One. That's for fucking sure.
No.
Yeah.